Hey guys, Shock44 here. Just making a little video here for you guys, and I figured I'd show off this wallpaper sort of desktop background thing that Exodus made me when like about I think it was last year. I think last year Exodus made this for me. It's pretty awesome. I haven't shown it to you guys yet because I don't know. I just didn't think about it, and so yeah, here it is. You can look at it and he did a great job with this in like Photoshop and junk. So anyway, that's not what we're focusing. That's not what I'm focusing on today. What I'm focusing on today is this big announcement that I heard about just yesterday. That apparently was announced on April 1st, which I'm like, oh my gosh, this has been announced since April 1st, and I'm just now hearing about it, which is funny because the game is getting released like next week. So I'm like, yes, next week. So I don't have to wait that long. And so like I'm glad that I didn't know about it ahead of time because now I don't have to go, oh my gosh, I can't wait. Ah, la, la, la. But I still have to wait. I still have to wait a week. So anyway, of course, what I'm talking about is the new Poker Night game. Now, I'm not going to go to the new one just yet. I wanted to discuss a little thing I noticed about the similarities between the first game and the second game. So let's take a look at the first game and the characters we have here, and let's get a little bit of a better picture quality. I don't know. These pictures kind of suck with the quality. That one's better. That one's better. So right here we have Max, Strombad, Heavy, and Tycho. And what I noticed about the first game compared to the second game is that there's similar. It's very similar in a way, but it's also very different in a way. Okay, not too different because it's a poker game. You can't really. Sorry, sorry. You can't really make it too different because it's in the same exact setting and it's in the same like gameplay and idea. It's just different characters and a few different things here and there to make it different. So what I noticed about the new one, if you haven't seen the trailer yet, go watch the trailer. It's awesome. I love the trailer. But what I noticed about the new one here is that for one, we're not up there on the stage where that you see where this curtain is over here. Um, that's where this is right here in the first game. It's right here and on the stage, but then right here we're just out here in the middle of the. I guess this is sort of a restaurant, sort of like a bar type area. I don't really know if they really explained what the inventory is. It's just a place. I know what they described what it is, but they never said like if it's like a restaurant or if it's a bar. It looks like a bar, and GLaDOS really gets up on your grill here. She's like, "Hey," I'm like, go away." She's like, "I am excited for this game. I'm going to torment these people." That's what I'm getting from this. But yeah, they changed the location of where they are sitting in here, and I don't know why Max is walking around, but I hope that Max like said some things in between the game just for the heck of it to help out Sam. Maybe that's why he's there because Sam and Max are always together, but Max can be by himself. So that's why Sam wasn't there last time. Um, then the second thing I want to point out is I've noticed a little trend here. Um, well, okay. First, before I mention that, let's point out the fact that that one guy, what's his name? He wasn't given a name. He was just the the employee guy. I mean, actually, he says he's not under the employee of the inventory. He just sits there to make sure everyone has a good time. So I'm not really sure what his job is. It's that guy right there, the mustache guy. it's got like a sailor hat on, a captain's hat. Yeah. You always hear his name or not his name. You always hear his voice announcing things in the background. Whenever like 10 points goes to Max or Max wins the hand, something like that. He'd always be the guy telling you what's happening in the game, and so what I'm really excited, they took away that guy because that guy just wasn't really that interesting. Yes, I liked his voice. He was a good announcer and all. I liked that he introduced the inventory with the intro, but GLaDOS is much more interesting of a host, you could say. Much more interesting for a dealer. I like that. No, there's a main dealer now. Like if you notice in the first poker night, it didn't really tell you this, but if there'd always be a little like circle on the table that would tell you who is dealing the cards out, and it'd be a certain character. I don't know why they did that, but now it's just GLaDOS dealing the cards, and I guess he's gonna be always talking every time someone does something. Like whenever someone wins, she'll be like, "Oh, look at that!" I don't know. It's gonna be amazing what she says, what all these other characters say. This is gonna be loads of awesomeness with these different personalities coming together. The one thing I wanted to talk about that I've noticed is that we have Sam here, and he's from Sam & Max. So we have a character from Sam & Max again. And then we have a character that, let's see, a character that has, like, weapons. A lot of weapons and gear and stuff on him. See, like, I don't really know this character that well, but I know he's from Army of Darkness, and so that's about it. But he's got a lot of weapons and gear on him. You can see right now he's got like an interesting glove, and I wouldn't know anything about him except for the fact that he's from that movie Evil Dead, from what I've heard. And then we've got this robot guy who reminds me of Strombad's character placement. You know, he's the character that looks the most different, I guess. You know, he's not a animal, and he's not really a human. He's a different kind of person. I mean, yeah, Strombad's a human in a way, but not really. He's because he'd always say like, oh, my boxing gloves and my wrestler's mask are my face and my hands. Like they're not detachable. So he's basically a different type of being altogether. So he's not really human. So anyway, that's what I found interesting, was that they used another character that wasn't human or animal. It was a robot. So it's kind of like what they did with Strombad, having him be there. And then we have another character who is modeled and made to look cartoony or comic book like in a way. I mean, he's not comic book like Taika was more comic book styled. He's more cartoony styled, but they're still using that same interesting look, cel shaded wise drawing look, where it looks like an actual drawing, like they actually drew it and then made it into a 3D. It's a really great merge of the two styles, and I really like that. Okay, so another thing I noticed about these four characters and the similarities to the other game, Sam is on the very right because Taika was on the very right too. If you notice, Taika didn't talk as much as everyone else was. He was more just wanting to talk every now and then, whenever, or like if it was only if like a subject that he was really into, he would start talking, or he just like give his like 2 cents about whatever they're talking about. He wouldn't. He was more in his own thing in that game. He wasn't the really talkative person. And there's only like a few times where he actually says, "Hey Max, what are you doing?" or whatever. Whenever he whenever they have like a conversation with each other. He's only gotten a few of those, whereas like Strombat and Max and Heavy seem to talk a lot more to each other. And then I'm not so sure about what's his name, the guy on the left and the guy next to Sam. I'm not so sure about their personalities really, but I know I'm just judging by the intro where the robot guy Claptrap is. I haven't played Borderlands 2. I'm sorry. I need to get on that, but I've noticed that just by him, by the way he talks and the way he's all jumpy in that intro, is that he's more of a personality type that is more like Max in a way. He's hyperactive and such, and so that's an interesting similarity to the first game, is having a jumpy sort of active character, and then we have Sam, who's more of a, he's not very talkative. He's very much just observant of what's going on, and he doesn't say as much. And so that's kind of like what Tycho was like, except Tycho had a few creepy things about him, but Sam, he doesn't really have any creepy things about him. And then but there's always like some things about Sam, that help him make him unique and not just generic antisocial guy. He's not really antisocial. He's just not talkative. Anyway, then okay, so the two guys that I can't tell their personalities right off the bat. The guy next to Sam did not talk in the intro or in the trailer that is. So I'm going to assume that his personality type is maybe more like Strombat's, or it could be totally different. I don't know, but I'm just gonna say that it's gonna be a little similar to Strombat's, maybe in a way. Because like this guy on the very left, he seems like he'd be more like the Heavy in a way, because he's like, the like get it done guy. I mean business. I'm gonna do this, and he's always smoking a cigarette. Apparently, I just noticed that he's got a big thing of cigarettes right there. Wow, but he seems like the business. I mean business. Let's get this done thing. I want to win, or I'm gonna totally mess you up kind of guy, like Heavy was. And so I think that's what they're aiming for here is characters that are different but also similar to the first game. That's what I'm starting to realize from all this. I was like, and I'm just wondering if anyone else found that's those similarities too, or if I'm just reading too much into this. I'm trying to say some things other than, yeah, go buy the game, it looks awesome, oh my gosh, I'm so excited, because that's what everyone's saying on their videos, where they're like my reaction to this game. It's like they talk about the first one, talk about the second one, and talk about what they liked about the first one, and then only one person did that actually. There was one person who just talked about what he liked about the first one, and the second, and what he likes about the second one, and that he's very excited. And then another person was just like, "Hey, there's the video," and then he just started talking about the video a bit because he was commentating on the trailer. And let me tell you, when you're commentating over a trailer, turn down the trailer so that you can be heard over the trailer better, because I don't like hearing both of you at the same volume. It's you don't, because then your brain's focusing on two different audios, and you're like and so you gotta have either audio ducking or just turn the video down so that you are more prominently louder than the video. So, and then someone else was just what did that guy do? He just said like, oh look, there's the trailer, it's so cool, and guys, you should go check it out, and the game's coming out end of this year. I'm like technically it's not really end of this year, because it's the 23rd, but whatever.